And those men said to me, This place, Enoch, has been prepared for the righteous, who suffer every kind of calamity in their life, and who afflict their souls, and who avert their eyes from injustice, and who carry out righteous judgment, and to give bread to the hungry, and who cover the naked with clothing, and who lift up the fallen, and who help the injured and the orphans, and who walk without a defect before the face of the Lord, and who worship him only. Do not bow down to anything created by man, nor anything created by God, so committing apostasy against the Lord of all creation. For no kind of deed is hidden from the face of the Lord. Behold, I have thought up a poem to recite. From invisible and visible substances I created man. From both his natures came both life and death. As my image, he knows the word like no other creature. But even in his greatest he is small, and again, at his smallest, he is great. On the earth I assigned him to be a second angel, honored, great, and glorious. I assigned him to be a king, to reign on the earth, and to have my wisdom. I assigned him 4 special stars, and called his name Adam. I gave him his free will. I pointed out to him the 2 ways, light and darkness. I said to him, This is good for you, but that is bad, so that I might come to know whether he has love toward me or abhorrence, so that it might become plain who among his race loves me. The devil understood how I wished to create another world, so that everything could be subjected to Adam on the earth, to rule and reign over it. The devil is of the lowest places. Lucifer has become a demon because he fled from heaven. In this way he became different from the angels. His nature did not change, but his thought did, since his consciousness of righteous and sinful things changed. Lucifer became aware of his condemnation and of the sin he sinned previously. This is why he thought up the scheme against Adam. In such a form, he entered paradise and corrupted Eve, but Adam he did not contact. On account of her ignorance, I cursed the ground and the serpent. I did not curse mankind nor any other creature, but only mankind's evil fruit-bearing. This is why the fruit of doing good is sweat and exertion. I said, Whoa, whoa, how very frightful this place is. Those men said to me, This place, Enoch, has been prepared for those who do not glorify God, and for those who practice on the earth the sin which is against nature, which is child corruption in the anus in the manner of Sodom, for those who practice witchcraft, enchantments, divinations, trafficking with demons, and who boast about their evil deeds, stealing, lying, insulting, coveting, resentment, fornication, and murder. For those who steal the souls of men secretly, seizing the poor by the throat, taking away their possessions, enriching themselves from the possessions of others, defrauding them when they are able to provide sustenance. For those who bring about the death of the hungry by starvation, and when they are able to provide clothing, take away the last garment of the naked. For those who do not acknowledge their Creator, but bow down to idols which have no souls, which can neither see nor hear, vain gods, constructing images and bowing down to vile things made by hands. For all these, this place has been prepared for an eternal reward. For I know the wickedness of mankind, how they have rejected my commandments, and they will not carry the yoke which I have placed on them. They cast off my yoke, and they will accept a different yoke. Nor do they sow the seed which I have given them, but they will sow worthless seed. not fearing God and not worshiping me. But they began to worship vain gods, and they renounced my uniqueness. They will reject my sole rule, and all the world will sin by injustices, crimes, adulteries, and idolatries. All the world will be reduced to confusion by iniquities, wickedness, and abominable fornications, that is, friend with friend in the anus, and every other kind of wicked uncleanness, which is disgusting to report, and the worship of the evil one. Happy is he who carries out righteous judgment, not for the sake of payment, but for justice, not expecting anything whatever as a result. The result will be that judgment without favoritism will follow for him. Happy is he who clothes the naked with his garment, and to the hungry he gives his bread. Happy is he who judges righteous judgment for orphan and widow, and who helps anyone who has been treated unjustly. Happy is he who turns aside from the short-lived path of this vain world and walks in the right paths, and who lives that life which is without end. Happy is he who sows right seed, for he shall harvest sevenfold. Happy is he in whom is the truth, so that he may speak the truth to his neighbor. Happy is he who has compassion on his lips and gentleness in his heart. Happy is he who understands all the works of the Lord, performed by the Lord, and glorifies him. For the works of the Lord are right, but the works of mankind, some are good, but others are evil. By their works those who speak lying blasphemies are recognized. Does the Lord demand bread or lamps or sheep or oxen or any kind of sacrifices at all? That is nothing. But God demands pure hearts. By means of all those things he tests people's hearts. Happy is the person who opens his lips for praise of the Lord, and praises him with his whole heart. And cursed is every person who opens his heart for insulting, insults the poor, slanders his neighbor, because that person slanders God. Happy is the person who opens their lips both blessing and praising God. Cursed is the person who opens their lips for cursing and blasphemy before the face of the Lord all their days. Happy is the person who blesses all the works of the Lord. Cursed is the person who despises any of the Lord's creatures. Happy is the person who looks carefully to the raising of the works of their own hand. Cursed is the person who looks, is jealous, and works to destroy the works of another. Happy is the person who preserves the foundations of his most ancient fathers, made firm from the beginning. Cursed is the person who breaks down the institutions of his ancestors and fathers. Happy is the person who cultivates the love of peace. Cursed is the person who disturbs those who are peaceful by means of love. Happy is he, even though he does not speak peace with his tongue, nevertheless in his heart there is peace toward all. Cursed is the person who with his tongue speaks peace, but in his heart there is no peace, but a sword. For all these things will be weighed in the balances, and exposed in the books on the great day of judgment. And not a single soul which the Lord has created will perish until the great judgment. And every kind of animal soul will accuse the human beings who have fed them badly. He who acts lawlessly with the soul of an animal acts lawlessly with his own soul. For a person brings one of the clean animals to make sacrifice on account of sin, so that he may have healing for his soul. If he brings it to the sacrifice from clean animals and birds and cereals, then there is healing for that person, and he will heal his soul. Everything that has been given to you for food, bind by 4 legs, so as to perform the healing properly. There is healing, and he will heal his soul. He who puts to death any kind of animal without bonds puts his own soul to death, and acts lawlessly with his own flesh. He who does any kind of harm to any kind of animal in secret, it is an evil custom, and he acts lawlessly with his own soul. He who does harm to a human soul creates harm for his own soul, and there is for him no healing in his flesh, nor any forgiveness for eternity. He who carries out the murder of a human soul causes the death of his own soul, and murders his own body, and there is no healing for him for eternity. He who lies in wait for a person with any kind of trap, he himself will be entangled in it, and there is no healing for him for eternity. He who lies in wait for a person in judgment, his retribution will not be slackened in the great judgment for eternity. He who acts perversely or says anything against any soul, righteousness will not be created for him for eternity. Having love for one another until you go out from this age of suffering, so that you may become inheritors of the never-ending age. I will leave a righteous man from your tribe, together with all his house, who will act in accordance with my will. From his seed another generation will arise, the last of many. But even out of those the majority will be very insatiable. I shall raise up for that generation someone who will reveal to them the books in your handwriting, and those of your fathers. He will have you point out to them the guard tower of the earth, truthful men, and those who carry out my will, who do not invoke my name misleadingly. You will tell that generation, and they, when they have read them, will be more glorified in the end than in the beginning. When the Lord sends out the great light, in that light there will be true judgment, without favoritism, for true and untrue alike, and no one will be able to hide himself then. When the whole of creation, visible and invisible, which the Lord has created, shall come to an end, then each person will go to the Lord's great judgment. Then all time will perish. Afterwards there will be neither years, nor months, nor days, nor hours. They will be dissipated. After that they will not be reckoned. They will constitute a single age. All the righteous who escape from the Lord's great judgment will be collected together into the great age. The great age will come about for the righteous, and it will be eternal. After that there will be among them neither weariness, nor sickness, nor affliction, nor worry, nor want, nor debilitation, nor night, nor darkness, but they will have a great light, a great indestructible light, paradise, great and incorruptible. For everything corruptible will pass away, and the incorruptible will come into being, and it will be the shelter of the eternal residences.